everyone, welcome to the Course Consultant. I'm so excited to talk today about landing page reviews, and we are going to be diving deep into creating offers that builds our list and monetizes our online business. And so I'm very excited because I had the opportunity to ask some of my students inside of my online courses to submit their landing pages for sales pages for products as well as free content to actually give them some advice and some recommendations to improve their overall conversions for freebies and also paid offers. So if you are brand new to me, welcome. I'm super excited to get started. Make sure that you go ahead and join me on Instagram. I'm sharing some really exciting things over the next few weeks, and I hope that some of the content helps you. Also, if you haven't already, make sure that you join me on YouTube. You can subscribe. I publish weekly podcast episode interviews and regular videos to help you create and sell impactful trainings and courses in your online business. So without further ado, I wanted to go ahead and go over some key things that you need in order to sell your courses and convert more people to your audience. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hop on over to some of my awesome students who have shared with me their content. So give them a nice round of applause. I'm going to go ahead and try to share my screen. I had a little bit of a tech issue today, which is why I'm a little bit, late to today's stream. So here we go. Okay, great. You can see me. Go ahead and let me know in the comments on Facebook or on YouTube if you have a free piece of content. So this could be a checklist. It could be anything that pertains to basically getting someone to opt into your list. And share with me what exactly that is in the comments below. And if you're on Facebook inside my Inspired Courses group, do share with me the link as well, because I'd be happy to take a look at it and offer any of my advice. Other things that I wanted to share with you is Fire Up Freelance's amazing resume template to get freelance pitches noticed. So I am really super excited to share with you some recommendations to make this landing page really stand out. And I'm going to share my own personal opinion on how this can actually increase people to potentially convert into a sale for a digital product and also get some people into our world. So let's take a look at this page. So first off, this page is a specific freebie for a resume template. And who it is for a aspiring freelancer or a freelancer who's hoping to scale their business. So I see that right now it says the resume template to get your freelance pitches noticed. Now, this resume template has a clear mock-up. I like that it has a mock-up of the image of the actual resume template. And I really actually appreciate that it says it's a free download. And I've actually shared specifically with Sam some things that I'd like to improve on this page. But the number one thing that I noticed is that there's a header, a footer on this page, and there's some buttons that don't have anything to do with the freebie. Your freebie landing pages should have their own page. If you are planning on sending any traffic there from affiliates or even from paid advertisements like Instagram or Facebook, this is something that you want to have done before you actually hit publish. So I recommend having a dedicated landing page for your freebie or your opt-in so that you can track not only the conversions, but you can also track other things like clicks, and also you can actually see if you have set up a separate funnel specifically for an ad for Facebook or specifically for Instagram, that you can see if any sales are being generated through that specific series of landing pages, or as funnels, as some people like to call it. So what I'm going to say is, I would take away this header. And then the other thing that I would say is that if we go scroll all the way down, it's going to tell us about these disclaimer policies. I think it's kind of fine to have these, but I kind of recommend just like keeping this bottom area, like the terms and conditions, disclaimer, privacy policy. I don't really think you need this login information here. And that's why I think if we just remove this area. Now, I do want to mention this little message bubble right here. This is through something called Chatra. I really like Chatra, and I use that personally for my website. This helps me to answer any questions that someone might have, and I can toggle this on or off if I'm available to answer questions or not available. And the Pro feature does have some other cool things as well, such as allowing you to customize responses to people who ask you specific targeted questions, and you can also kind of just be a little bit creepy and check out if someone's actually on your site. You can see who's on. It won't say any specific user information, but it will say, hey, someone is on this page. You can actually preemptively reach out to them in case they have questions, which can be a little bit creepy, but also kind of cool. Okay, I also like that there's this gradient in the outside of this template here, and I really like that because it makes it pop, and I appreciate that you have the name and email. Now, I want to mention that some people actually say full name. I don't think you really need somebody's full name, to be honest. All I care about is the first name. So if you have a form field right there at the top, I would just recommend just having it say first name. I also like that this is a clear call to action. It says grab it now. Instead of this, I might even say something like download now, just because it's really clear what the transformation is once somebody exchanges your email. I would also maybe consider using a word like access now instead of grab it now. So I definitely think that this is a really strong call to action. So I would just change that a little bit. Okay, so let's take a look at this bio. The image here is a bit big. I think we could possibly decrease the size a little bit, but I really like that it says your name, it says who exactly it is that you are, and also what the provision, like with the background, why should someone care about what you have to say? I also really like that it says swipe my resume template. It's really fun. It's got this fun animated GIF here. So in general, I think that there's not too much that we need to change on this page, given that we already have a clear image and visual of the graphic that is going to be provided once we opt in. We also have a beautiful image of who it is that you are, and also some strong calls to actions like send it to me, grab it now, or as I said, you could also possibly add download now or access now. I also like this kind of setting up the content here for your freebie. It's just basically saying, here's what you're going to get when you enroll. Confidently showcase, easily attract, book out. So all of these are really just transformational phrases that I really appreciate is on this page. So overall, I think this is a great landing page, and I definitely think that people should go check it out. I'm going to make sure that I link this out inside of the comments area so you can check out these resources. All right, so let's move on to another beautiful landing page. I'm super excited to go ahead and take a look at this one. This is by Purple Leaf Designs, which is really great. I actually really like this logo. I didn't realize it's kind of just one word morphed into two, which is fun. Okay, so same thing here. I think this is a beautifully outlined landing page for your freebie. I like the visual. I like the gradient shadowing in the background. And then here's the big question. Are you ready to finally have a hobby that works for your jam-packed life? I like that. And I almost want to say a de-stress, a hobby that lets you de-stress with your jam-packed life, because I honestly think that people get into cross-stitching as a way to de-stress. So I think maybe even if somebody wanted to do this as a hobby, like what's the transformation? The hobby isn't just a hobby just to take up time. It's most likely to get away. It's a way to escape. Like for me, Netflix is a way for me to escape. And when I'm binge watching or I'm doing some sort of hobby, I'm trying to escape my life and do something fun and enjoy my life. So I would say maybe even just tweak it to, are you finally ready to have a hobby that helps you de-stress in your jam-packed life? So kind of just tweak that a little bit, but I know it's just an opinion I have. I like that you say download the free cross-stitch word roadmap. I almost feel like if you just take download and then just put that download free cross-stitch roadmap, I would maybe tweak that. Okay, so I also like the patterns here. This makes perfect sense with your specific audience because it's cross-stitch. You've got the visuals in the background. I love these graphics here. Here's what these brand new cross stitchers are saying. I really like that you have some testimonials here, and I like that it's really clear what people are saying, and it's really attractive. Okay, so right now, a creative hobby feels impossible. The supplies are so expensive that brings on the guilt before you've even started. By the time you set up all the things that block precious free time is over and you've barely begun. Oh, I see what you're saying. That block of precious free time is over and you'd barely begun. Yeah. So I wonder if you kind of add some humor in here. Like if you were to say something like, by the time you grab your your cross stitch pattern, you've already fumbled through, like your yarn or your materials are now into a big giant mess of yarn, or I don't know, whatever, like of material. So I almost want to see it if it's kind of like you present a visualization of somebody like fumbling through them trying to do it themselves, because I feel like this is a good setup for a possible tripwire offer, like something small, low cost that someone will buy right off the bat. So I think this would be great if we maybe just added and tweaked this copy where it's more talking about you're fumbling through trying to get all of the pieces together and you honestly feel like throwing it in the garbage, right? Like you just feel like you just want to give up, and now you don't even have time to worry about it because your kid's running through the door and they're screaming because suddenly they have soap suds all over and you have no idea how they got soap on them. Just an idea, kind of just like visualizing, what does it look like? What does it feel like? You're feeling inadequate because your thing never looks right. Yeah, so maybe this could be something like, you started looking on Pinterest for the perfect cross stitch pattern, and now it's suddenly looking like a big giant mess, or it's starting to look like a Pinterest fail, right? So it's like kind of adding some humor into this because yes, they feel inadequate, but how can we kind of just tweak it so that we visualize what does inadequate look and feel like? This is a lot of good copy. I honestly don't think you need all of this. I think that this is a pretty good setup for your tripwire offer. You're so ready, an inexpensive hobby that gives you so much time and creativity back. Yeah, for your buck. Yeah, I like that. So I think what you're saying is they're thrifty. Maybe even say like instead of an inexpensive hobby, kind of just say like a thrifty hobby. And I say that thrifty because inexpensive means like you're kind of telling people like, this works for you if you don't have any money. They do need some money to actually buy materials. So if you say like maybe a thrifty or a word that's like comparable to that, I would kind of switch that up a little bit. Super quick setup to get started with a hobby in less than a minute each session. Ooh, this is great. I almost feel like this should be on top because the time is a really big thing. And you kind of alluded to time being an issue in the previous copy. Yeah, I love this. This is great. I love this. I love that part. Yay, I love this part. This is really fun. I almost feel like this can be like, imagine have that proud moment when you hang your first creation on the wall. I love that. Yes. I almost feel like that's not as important, but I feel like this should be down here. Guess what? Cross stitch checks all these boxes and then some. There's a reason that cross stitch has been around for thousands of years. It's pretty dang awesome. Walks total beginners through all the key points, and it's simple and easy. Wow, beautiful. This is really great copy. I love this, Erin. Okay, so I like this visual right here, and get it now. And then we have this pop-up here. So I think in this pop-up, I think it's really beautiful. I like that it shows you what happens. And it's actually a button that I'm seeing across your pages. So you have it once here, and then you have another one here. I almost feel like if it was me and I got busy, I might X out of that button and actually walk away. So I don't know the conversion stats, but it might be worth kind of testing to see if you actually can add a form directly here. And the reason why is because when it comes to the pop-ups, there might be some drop-offs for people who X out of that pop-up and people who actually X out of the page. So I almost feel like if you had one embedded form instead of the pop-up, you can keep the pop-ups here, but maybe just add a form. Might be with testing, so totally up to you. That's kind of my thought. Send it to me. Beautiful. Love the last final call to action. Love the bio. Love the imagery. You look super fun. I feel like I would totally want to learn how to cross stitch. This is super fun. Very cool. So yeah, I think in general, the copy is really great. The design is really phenomenal. You have a lot of copy here. I almost feel like you could remove some of it and make it even simpler. But I do think that it's really beautifully done. And I would just kind of tweak some of the, like, add that form there, possibly, and then maybe kind of zhuzh up some of the copy in here and remove some things that might not exactly be necessary, like this bottom one here. And then maybe zhuzh up some of that. Okay, so overall, great job on that freebie landing page. Okie dokie. So the next one that I wanted to actually show you is a actual paid product. So this is a paid product called the Kudos System Rave Reviews on Record legally. So if you are a online course creator or maybe someone who has intellectual property that you've created in your online business, the Kudos System is a product that gives you rave reviews on record legally. And so with this product, which is again paid, we're going over what exactly the product is right here at the top, the Kudos System. And I like that it has this tagline. I almost feel like there should be something more here. I almost feel like this should be centered because it's right here at the side, and I really, my brain is wanting to see a mock-up. My brain wants to see a mock-up, and I want to see it visually represented. And so a mock-up is something you can easily pop into on Canva. If you don't want to do it yourself, I have a product that has digital product mock-ups, and that's inside the digital product toolkit. I also have some other templates that you can use, but even if you don't want to buy my stuff, there's plenty of Canva templates that you can actually upload directly and get a screenshot. So I normally use something called Nimbus, and if you actually can see, I'm able to actually capture part of the page. I'm not going to show you exactly how to do it, but Nimbus is a free screen capture software which allows you to screen capture entire pages, screenshots of specific things. You can edit things, you can blur things out. So it's super handy and it's totally free. So Nimbus Capture is what I use to actually take screenshots, and it's super handy for making digital mockups. So digital mockup I think would be great here at the top, or at least right around here. That's where I would want to put it. And then the Kudos System, I would actually center this design and then maybe add a call to action button right here. And that call to action button would be the checkout page. And so I know you have your cart all the way at the bottom because I actually took some time to review this beforehand, but I honestly think that that page would do better with just a little box, like a little button right there at the top, because now you're making me scroll and I'm like, what is this? What is this? Okay, so here we go. Get your rave reviews on record respectfully. Yes, we mean legally. So I would say maybe just remove this respectfully and just switch this out. Yes, we mean legally, because respectfully, I'm not sure that's really what the promise is. The promise is you get your reviews on record legally to showcase your product, service, or offer to grow more sales, right? So the end result, the promise that we're delivering on is to generate more sales, right? Obviously, it's to protect ourselves, but reviews are one of the most powerful forces that people have in order to buy something. So I feel like that needs to be addressing it, something on the website, on this page. It needs to say something like, get your rave reviews on record to increase your course sales, improve your referrals, and also generate legal reviews so you don't have angry emails from potential or from previous customers, right? So something that says like you already know how powerful testimonials can be, so that it can actually provide people with an incentive to buy, give people the ability to tell others about what it is that you do and how amazing it is. How would it feel in your business if you know that your reviews have the protection they need so you can make sure that you are respecting your customers and ensuring that you are doing it legally? So I would say something like that. So again, like the big promise here is yes to do it legally, but the sexiness and the attractiveness, that's actually what I would say would be important to add here about how social proof can improve sales. Because it's true. I know that for a fact. So we're talking about here's some challenges of using reviews without legal liability, right? So it is important to get written permission. A lot of people don't do that. And so you kind of can actually say that in this copy. I almost feel like this could be like 3 sections. What would happen if you use a review that you didn't have permission to use? And you can kind of say like section 1, you might be able to use this and see that someone will complain to you. You might have someone actually no longer want to be a customer from you. You might see, and this has actually happened. I've seen people who have used a screenshot from a testimonial and they didn't ask permission. They took off any personal identifiers, but the problem was that the customer got mad and they no longer wanted to be a customer anymore. And then that hurt their business. And it also hurt the business of other people who were in the group. And so you want to be kind of careful with that. And so that's what I would say here. Right now it says advertising rules, all this stuff about written permission, but I don't see why this would be important for a consumer because it's not clearly explained here. So I would add something about can we add this as a way to protect our business, retain our customers, and build the like, know, and trust with our audience who will continue to feel served and, of course, legally protect our business. So I definitely think that. I like that it says what's included, tips. Okay, great. Okay. All right, so I would say, what's included. We want to add something to copy here where it says something like testimonial and media release templates so that you can be able to publish these testimonials to increase your course sales legally. Email templates to save time so that you can continue to run your business and grow your income. Customized Trello boards to track your reviews from leads to legally published. So again, we're kind of reviewing this from the standpoint of it doesn't matter how many templates you have. It doesn't matter how many PDF pages you have. We're thinking about in order to increase revenue, in order to thank your customers, in order to protect yourself legally, to save time. Because the biggest thing that these customers are looking for is a time saver, and it's also going to be a revenue generator. So time savers and revenue generators are amongst the best ways that you can actually tell people that this product is going to have an end goal and result. And so the way that you would say that would be testimonials and media release templates in order to, or so that you can. So in order to or so that you can. That's what I would add right here to the tools and templates. Guide that explains. So this looks really good. Written permission, okay. Yeah, so kind of just same thing across the board, just adding in that so that you can. If you want to, you can add a monetary value assigned to each of these. So you could say, just as importantly, what not to do when asking for reviews. So like you might say like this guide is worth X amount of dollar value. This template is worth X amount of dollar value. Total value is $197. Today's price is $47. So we see that kind of a lot on the online space. If you're doing a digital product, you have that monetary value assigned to the product, and then you build the offer stack. So you have this is worth $97, that's worth $197, that's worth $97. The total value is totally $500, and today's value is $47. You can, and you might not consider doing that. People have different opinions on monetary and value stacks, but honestly, in my opinion, it's worth it if it's accurate. Like if you currently offer a service that's similar, then you can actually say, my normal pricing for my services where I go over this one-on-one with you is actually at assigned value, X dollar amount. This product is actually a steal of a deal, and you can only walk away with this for $47. So again, we're talking about offer stacks, and I think that that's something that can zhuzh this up a little bit more. And I keep saying zhuzh. I think it's great. I'm using this word. I don't know why. Same thing here, kudos system. We have this here. I think this can be updated a lot more visually, and you can add a graphic right here. Again, like I said, you can also hire someone to do a full kind of page design, but I think this is a good start. Add to cart. Okay, we check out. Let's take a look at this. All right, so here's one thing that I'm not really a big fan of in general, and this is fine. This is totally fine. I know you've already generated sales from this, but one thing that you could improve on this is to actually make it so that they don't have to create an account. Because now, instead of checking out, if they're like, I want to check out right now, this page, I would want there to be a way to pay. And so if that's not going to be something that you're going to offer on this, you might want to have like a abandoned email sequence follow-up, because here they're going to have to create an account and then they may not actually go to the next step, because this is probably like a 1 to 2 step sign up. So I'd actually create a actual sign up page like on ThriveCart to do a checkout, because then they can just enter in their payment details and just be done with it. So just a thought. So I think overall, this is a very solid product. I think the concept is very clear. The promise is fairly clear. I think just visually and design-wise and copy can be tweaked a little bit to optimize for conversions and really get people in the door. The second thing I think could be improved is just let's see here. Maybe just take off this header. I don't think people will really click at these here. They might just get curious and click, but we want them to do one thing on this page, and that's to sign up. Or they can click on something else maybe and just go to a home page. So those are the actions that I would recommend. Okay, so I think that this is hopefully helpful. I know that I went through a lot today, but what I want to actually do is, let me go back to this here. So why am I talking all about landing pages and sales pages? Well, there's 2 reasons that I talk about landing pages and sales pages is because the number one thing that new course creators don't optimize is their landing pages for leads and for sales. So what I would want you to do if you're going to create a free opt-in is to, 1, make it easy for someone to sign up. We had some really great examples of some good call to actions and some buttons that let people know what the promise is of what's going to be in their inbox as soon as they opt in. So really, really make sure that you have clear call to actions on your landing pages. Number 2, I really think it's important to remove any distractions. I know that other people might have opt-ins where they have a header or a footer, or you can navigate away from the page, but personally, I want to make sure that I'm optimizing for leads. And so to do that, I make sure that I remove distractions by removing unnecessary buttons from the page and also removing any unnecessary design or copy. This is especially true if you're planning on doing Facebook advertising or even Pinterest advertising in the future, or basically any advertising. You want to optimize for a specific event, and that's going to be either conversions for a purchase or conversions for a lead. And so for leads, definitely make sure you do that with strong calls to actions, good visuals, and good copy. Second thing, for conversions, you want to make sure that you are giving people the clear information of what the promise delivers on, a clear offer stack of what the monetary assigned value is, and also an easy checkout process. And that's why I really recommend using ThriveCart. It's personally one of the best softwares I've ever invested in. And seriously, I've actually found a great way of converting people on this software. And it's honestly, again, totally worth the price. It does take a good chunk of change, and honestly, I did have to save up for it. So if you're wondering about how you can set up your ThriveCart account and you're curious about what the process looks like, I'm actually going to be sharing something really exciting next week about ThriveCart, and I'm hoping to do some more tutorials on how to set yours up. So for today, I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions and you're looking to actually scale your online courses through your business and you want one-on-one help, don't hesitate to reach out and book a one-on-one call. This call, I go over everything and anything from analyzing your course, reviewing your copy from your emails, and also reviewing your tech stack to make sure that you have the right tech stack so you can get more course sales, build your audience, and also grow your impact. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Feel free to drop me a comment in case you have any questions. Bye!